Hey guys, Christy Shelton from foreverandafter.com. Let's try this again since I just lost signal. Hopefully the connection stays strong enough this time. So I kind of alluded in a previous video that I was going to break down the different diet plans and the different routines that people use to try to lose weight and kind of explain the benefits and the consequences for each of those, what makes one better than the other, so that you can really make an informed decision about what you're going to do for your plan of action. So today I want to talk to you guys about calorie counting and why for many people calorie counting isn't very effective and it's not a long-term solution. So the theory behind calorie counting is if you are taking in less calories than you're burning, you're going to have weight loss, which is true. 3,500 calories approximately equal 1 pound of weight loss. So if you're eating on average 3,500 to 7,000 calories less per week than you're expending, then you are going to lose 1 to 2 pounds a week, which is the recommended safe weight loss range. And it's supposed to be, by studies, the more maintainable, sustainable for lifetime type of weight loss. So why does calorie counting not work for people? So basically, we figure out how many calories are burned in a food or are contained in a food based on a scientific principle, and they basically use this machine to heat up the different energy, and they determine at what temperature the food or the nutrient has to be broken down at to determine how many calories are burned in the time it takes to break that down. So they usually can count based on carbs and fats and proteins how many calories you burn for each gram of each item, and that's how they determine the amount of calories that are being consumed or being burned. The problem with this is that the FDA regulates and says that there have to be nutrition labels, but the nutrition labels can be off by up to 25%. Meaning you could be eating that 100 calorie pack thinking that it only has 100 calories in it. In reality, by the time you factor in the actual difference in ingredients, the variations in weight, and that kind of thing, you could actually be taking in 125 calories. So you're probably thinking 25 calories is probably not that big of a deal. But imagine if every single item that you had 25% more calories. How many calories would you be eating in a day that's more than your allotted calorie amount? The same thing goes the opposite way. Something may say that it has 100 calories in it, and you may be counting on that as meeting your minimum nutrition requirement for the day, but it could actually only have 75 calories in it instead, making it to where you're shorting yourself calories and your body thinks it's actually starving. Another problem with calorie counting is a lot of people become obsessed. So I personally did calorie counting and I did lose a significant amount of weight doing it. The problem for me was I became like super obsessed with calories. I wouldn't eat something unless I had a good measure of how many calories was in it. And it didn't encourage me to eat healthy foods because I kind of like budgeted my calories out and said, okay, if I eat this salad that's only 40 calories, I can eat a cookie that's 110 calories or whatever it might have been. So it doesn't necessarily encourage healthy habits. It encourages you to live on a budget, which is fine, but a lot of people aren't going to get the results that they're wanting to get. I have a few friends that are still calorie counting that aren't getting the chiseled physique that they would like because they're not eating the right proportions of foods. So that's something to keep in mind with calorie counting, that not only do you want to count your calories, you also want to pay attention to the quality of the food that you're putting in. Because let's be real, a calorie is a calorie, but there's different qualities of calories as well. So if you eat 100 calories of lettuce, for example, it's going to be a lot more beneficial to you than 100 calories of that snack pack you just ate out of the refrigerator. So keep that in mind as well. So we have the variation, we have the kind of obsession with calorie counting. So why do people do it? Well, calorie counting gives people the feeling of control. If you've ever had food issues or you feel like your life is kind of spiraling into this dark place, you sometimes look for something you can control. And when you count calories, you have complete control over what you're putting into your mouth. It can feel like you're powerful and like you are making the right decisions because you've been able to stay on your plan or on your program for however long you've been on your plan. And that can work in the short term, but in the long term, you're going to start seeing the effects of not getting enough nutrients. They could manifest in different health conditions. It could be low energy. It could be different things that are going to pop up because calorie counting doesn't necessarily encourage you to eat a balanced diet. It doesn't necessarily encourage you to get all those nutrients in. So I hope that you found this discussion helpful. Remember, those food labels can vary by up to 25%, and that still falls within the FDA guidelines. So when you're looking at something and you're evaluating whether to eat it or not, don't pay attention just to the calorie number. Look at the other ingredients and the other factors involved as well. And have a great night.